Before going into this movie, I knew very little about Thurgood Marshall, which this movie is about. The trailers looked decent, and I was hoping for a decent experience. Unlike so many biopics where the movie tries to summarize someone's life in a 2 hour span, Marshall focuses on one specific incident in Thurgood Marshall's life, one of his early trials. Chadwick Boseman stars as a young civil rights lawyer, Thurgood Marshall, who travels to Connecticut on behalf of the NAACP to defend a black chauffeur who's been accused of raping his female employer, played by Kate Hudson. Kate Hudson's character, socialite Eleanor Stubling, falsely accuses her black chauffeur, Joseph Spell, played by Sterling K. Brown, of raping her and then driving her to a local bridge in an attempt to murder her by throwing her off the bridge. Now, Joseph faces a possible life imprisonment for his supposed crime, and Marshall personally seeks to help him because Joseph tells him he's innocent. Because Marshall isn't licensed as a lawyer in Connecticut, he isn't allowed to personally represent the defendant, so he enlists the help of Jewish lawyer Samuel Friedman, played by Josh Gad, to help him present the case in court. The local judge prevents Marshall from speaking in court, so he has to coach his new local partner, who up to this point has only handled insurance cases, to present the case in court. This is based on a true story, and I don't know much about Thurgood Marshall, but as a movie, I thought the formula they used worked. Instead of trying to tell us too much about the life details of Thurgood Marshall, we are treated to one small piece of his life, a high-profile courtroom case, which would later help him establish the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. As a whole, this movie worked as a courtroom drama. The characters were interesting, and the way the story was told kept my interest. I liked how we are shown an optimistic and intelligent young Thurgood Marshall. I also liked the friendship and mutual respect that developed between Thurgood Marshall and Samuel Friedman, who both face racism and inequality for their beliefs. There was some feeble attempt at trying to tell us more about the personal life of Thurgood Marshall, but a few of the scenes with his friends, namely Langston Hughes, and even his wife, just seemed like a distraction from the actual courtroom drama focus of this movie, and probably could have been edited out of the movie with no impact on its final outcome. Ultimately, the trailers lead you to believe that this movie will tell us about the life story of Thurgood Marshall, when in actuality it only tells us about one of his courtroom cases, albeit a high-profile one from his younger years with the NAACP. The cinematography of Marshall is straightforward and serviceable, with the acting and storyline taking the center stage. I give Marshall an 85% rating. As a courtroom drama, the movie worked. As a biopic, it should have stayed on point with the courtroom case instead of telling us small details of Marshall's life that aren't really fleshed out. There were some humorous moments in this movie that were enjoyable to watch, like the banter between Thurgood Marshall and Samuel Friedman. Overall, this was a feel-good movie about overcoming the limitations placed by society and standing up for what's right. Marshall has high user and critical reviews. Movie friends, I value your thoughts. If you saw Marshall, tell me. Let me know what you thought about the movie. Did you feel it depicted the case accurately? Comment below with your thoughts. Subscribe to get more movie reviews with opening weekend audience reactions every week. Let's fill the minutes with real minutes. Here are a few comments from some of the audience members I got to talk to after the movie.
When you say the truth, you win. Because he said the truth. That's how he won. It has nothing to do with color. It has nothing to do with... the truth is always a winner. I loved it.
I thought it was a great movie. I thought the cast did an amazing job. The timing was really great, and I mean the content is obviously really important, and I think it just all played out really well. There was some good comedic moments, as well as just the story in general was really powerful.
I thought it was well done. I like it overall as a movie. At the beginning it started off a little like a comedy detective story, and then I went to more serious. I like the topics that they chose. Often when they talk about civil rights, they're talking about discrimination, and two big groups that are known to be discriminated against are African Americans and Jews. So I liked that they sort of did a call to unity. Other than that, I thought it was a good film and people should see it.
The movie was great, very inspiring and very uplifting, and hope for everyone can go see it.
Man, it's a roller coaster. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and in the end you win. Just go see it.
Oh, it was a great show. Good story about Supreme Court, African American civil rights, and just a feel-good movie. Loved it. Really loved it. Highly recommend it. Go see it.
It's a movie that you feel that we wanted to be something that talks about humans, their rights, and their fights and their wins. That's what it was.
Marshall is very interesting. It's engaging throughout, and I liked it so much. I liked even how they showed the olden times. Everything is so well picturized.
To be on the I can say it's like the fight against the civil rights, right? On the color. I have seen many films where they will show all the fight, gory and all that stuff. But this movie is articulated in such a nice way.
Yes.
There is no gory, nothing, and to the point, and everyone is satisfied with the way they prosecuted the whole proceedings. It's really nice.
Not just the marshal, even how they picturize the other characters around him. Everything makes it so interesting, so logical. Because it's not exactly a biopic where they showed somebody's life right from the childhood and all that. It's just they picked a small part of his life, maybe a turning point of his life. So very interesting part.
The way he fought for the civil rights, and we liked it very much. Sounds very interesting actually. I mean, it's all the way thrilling till the last moment. Feels like engaging.
Thanks for watching my review on Real Minutes. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to click like or subscribe.